There's a place in West Virginia that barely appears on maps. A narrow valley, coiled in the folds of the Appalachian Mountains, where rusted coal rails vanish into the brush and roads become gravel without warning. It's called Cabin Creek, and for over 4 decades, people have whispered about a stretch of road within it. They call it the 3 Mile Stretch, a winding forest-choked section of blacktop between the towns of Dakota and Leawood. The road itself looks harmless. It twists gently through pine forest, passing the ruins of old mining shacks and timber skeletons. There are no cliffs, no drop-offs, no obvious danger. But if you talk to the people who live nearby and you ask the right way, they'll tell you. People go missing there, not every year, not often, but often enough to remember. 7 people vanished along that stretch between 1976 and 2017. All were alone, all in autumn. Their cars were found, doors shut, keys missing, headlights off. But the people? Gone. No blood, no signs of struggle, no final call or scream, just silence. In 2019, an 8th person disappeared. Her name was Anna McGuire. She was 27, a journalist from Charleston, and she was investigating the very pattern she became a part of. Anna wasn't a ghost hunter or a thrill seeker. She wrote for Appalachian Monthly, a regional magazine focused on forgotten histories, rural crime, and off-the-grid communities. She was smart, cautious, and skeptical, which made her disappearance all the more disturbing. She'd been researching the missing persons cases for 3 months. She compiled notes, tracked down witnesses, and dug through decades of clipped articles and state records. She planned to walk part of the 3 Mile Stretch herself. Not far. Just enough to photograph the trail, record ambient audio, and speak to a retired forestry officer who'd agreed to meet her the next day. She told her roommate she'd be gone no more than 2 days. "Back Sunday," she texted. "Call if you don't hear from me." She parked her car at 3:42 p.m. on October 19th, 2019, according to a timestamp from a dashcam mounted inside her vehicle. She left it on the shoulder of the gravel road, near an old, unmarked trail entrance. She was wearing a hiking jacket, jeans, boots, and a small day pack, with a notebook, camera, recorder, and granola bars. That evening, she sent one voice message to her editor. "Cabin Creek is so still it feels fake. The trail's overgrown. There's no sound, not even birds. Gonna walk a bit and record. Should be back before dark." That was her last known communication. When she didn't return the next morning, her roommate called the police. Search teams arrived later that afternoon. They found Anna's Honda CR-V exactly where she left it. It was locked. The windows were rolled up. Her phone was not inside, nor were her recorder or camera. But her bag was, unopened, sitting in the back seat. A week-long search followed. Drones, dogs, volunteer teams. No sign of her, no footprints, no clothing, blood, or broken branches. Her trail disappeared about 50 yards into the forest. Beyond that, nothing. But a day later, police recovered her audio recorder, found wedged between 2 rocks about 100 feet from where her trail had vanished. The battery was dead, but the memory card was intact. What they found on that recording is what changed everything. The last 17 minutes of audio have never been publicly released in full, but a partial transcript leaked in early 2020. The state police later confirmed its authenticity. What follows is a cleaned version of those final moments. 5:43 p.m. Footsteps on leaves, light wind, Anna. I'm about half a mile in. The trail doesn't look right. The trees are too tight. I don't think I came this way. 10 seconds of silence, Anna. I keep hearing a knocking, not a bird, not an echo. 3 knocks, evenly spaced. Distant thudding sound, 3 beats. Anna whispers. There it is again. It's closer. Leaves crunch faster. Breathing picks up. Anna, I saw something. Someone. Tall and still, standing in the trees. I blinked and it was gone. Long pause. Wind rises, then dies again. Anna, trail is gone. It was just here. Silence. Then another knock. Louder. Closer. Then static. Anna, final words. It's behind me. Then nothing. The recorder runs for 6 more minutes before cutting to static. Investigators search the entire area again, focusing on the sound direction from the audio. They found no structure, no animal den, no cave or mine opening. Just woods, endless woods. The forest there is second growth, dense and uneven, grown over old timberland. Locals say it changes shape. They call it driftwood ground. Maps don't match. Trails shift. 1 minute you're walking through ferns and moss. The next, you're standing in hard clay and pine needles. A retired miner named Earl Kinney, 76, told Anna's editor that the area she entered was once used as a shortcut between 2 coal shafts in the 1950s. It was abandoned after a series of cave-ins. You hear things in there, he said. Used to be kids would knock on trees to scare each other. Then sometimes the woods knocked back. When asked to explain, he just shook his head. There's something that walks there, but it don't walk like us. And it don't need to chase. It waits. A month after Anna's disappearance, a hunter found her camera deep in the woods, over 3 miles from the trailhead, in a place the search teams had passed through a dozen times. It was sitting upright, undamaged, facing a line of trees. There were only 4 photos on the card. The first 3 were shots of the trail. Empty, ordinary, shadowy. The last showed the woods at dusk, slightly tilted, and in the corner, near the edge of the frame, was a figure, human-shaped, long, still, just far enough that no features were clear. But it wasn't blurry, it wasn't moving, it was standing, watching. No other trace of Anna was ever found. The case remains open. Her disappearance is listed as unresolved with insufficient evidence. But if you talk to the people in Cabin Creek, they don't call it a mystery. They call it a warning. They say October is when the woods listen, when the trail shortens, when things watch you from between the trees and wait for you to knock. And if you hear something knocking out there, 3 slow knocks, far off, deep in the woods, don't knock back.